This is about as early as you're gonna get me. And I'm trying to, do a couple things around here on this channel. And I'm trying to change, like, not change the vibe a little bit, but kind of. I'm trying to get like on a normal schedule here. I'm trying to get myself, in more normal time slots, something like this, like 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time before the big night of games and shit. And you know, I'm gonna hold on, dude. I don't ever get old. Do yourself a favor. Don't ever fucking get old because it's the worst thing ever. Um, I'm trying to do these streams earlier in the day, like 6:30, where I have some energy, where I can actually like give you guys a little bit more of my energy than usual. And so we're starting that today. We're starting 6:30 for the first time. Um, I'm excited. I'm trying to just change the pace of this channel a little bit. I'm trying to like, take that next step where like I do these lives in the middle of the night and shit. It just doesn't work out. My guy, you're like 8 hours off schedule. I know, Kmart. I'm really fucking everything up right now. What I need to do, first off, big thing, and it's probably going to start sometime next week. I'm going to announce the schedule. I'm going to announce, like, I'm going to have a pretty regular schedule where I do this, probably around 6:30, the dinner hour, do these streams, do these lives. What's the word? Probably, like, once in a blue moon, we'll have some sort of 11:30. How about that Rick Pitino guy? Dude, you know me. I love Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino is a fucking godlike figure in this house now. Like, Rick Pitino turned around a St. John's program that was dead. Like, St. John's, all these years, as long as I've rooted for them, it was the same shit every time at St. John's. They'd, like, they'd get a recruiting class, and, like, every 3-4 years, they would make the tournament, be one and done, be out. This St. John's team, this embodiment of what Rick Pitino has put together, with NIL, Rick Pitino, the Rapoli stable, everything in general. I fucking love being a St. John's Red Storm fan. I'm fired up for Friday. I wish I could go. Now, here's the thing. I have a bad idea for some content, right? I have a really, really bad idea. Incredibly bad idea for content. I really want to go. I really want to be in DC for St. John's. And problem is, it's about like an $1,800 trip to go. And listen, I could probably afford to do it. I could do it. But like, I don't want to spend $1,800 to go to Washington, D.C. and do all that shit. So I'm considering, I don't know, maybe doing some sort of thing to try to win the money to fucking go. So we'll see. We're going to play that by ear. Are you hiding like the Ravens? Yeah, the Ravens haven't said much since the whole Max Crosby shit, which is insane. This is early, yeah. Like we're having a day here. But my buddies at my job found out that I'm trying to get in the pants of the weird girl from our job. Give me advice. Pork chop, what's up, man? XRS, that's a tough one, man. I wouldn't worry about what they think because love is love, man. Love is in the air. So you need advice. What kind of go to Boston? It's a good time. Yeah, pork chop. I would only go. The only reason I'd go to DC is for St. John's, but I don't know. We'll see. My aunt's dog back in like 2009 was named Rick Pitino. He's a staple here in Louisville. Dude, the thing about Rick Pitino is every single place he's gone, he's a staple. He's the guy. Everybody loves Rick Pitino. Listen, he got into some trouble, showing some recruits a great time, having them at a strip club. Fuck yeah, hell yeah. Rick Pitino is a god in this house. I don't love her, Fley. I just want some Chinese pussy. Whoa, all right. Yeah, XRS. I said love is love, but look, I don't let anybody else say anything to you because you know what? At the end of the day, you work with a bunch of people, and what are they trying to say? Like XRS, are they trying to like clown you for it? What's going on here? Like, because you are, you're shooting your shot, you're spitting your game, you're doing your thing. Don't let the guys around you fucking razz you, because at the end of the day, if they can't pull it off, they don't want to see you pull it off. It's a game of haters. Go out there, be yourself, get in that. I'm not gonna say like what I gotta say. Get in that Chinese. I don't care what she is. Just get in there. I had a generation lock-in for school. What do you mean? Oh, you had a generation lock-in for school. Let me tell you, I probably need the generation lock-in to fucking learning how to read again, Connor. But yes, nice, man. That's good. What's going on? Getting good grades, huh? Sweet and tangy it's that Chinese lo mein. Listen, I'm pretty well traveled when it comes to the female. Shockingly, look at what I got going on here. I don't have much, but I can't really comment on that. I'm not going to comment on Um, as an XRS, do you? Yeah, they clowning me because she's weird as fuck and annoying, but has a nice body. XRS, let me tell you something, man. Weird girls like that look great, that have great bodies, you're gonna have the fucking time of your life. I am telling you, it is a tale as old as time. You find the weird girl, the odd weird girl that there's something like slightly off with her. There's something, she seems a little weird, but she looks great. That's the girl you're gonna have a great time with once things work out. I'm telling you, it's a tale as old as time. I originally had a D in math. Now I got an A, and I had an F in biology. Good for you, Connor. Dude, here's the thing, man. Connor, you were at that age, right? Like, I look back on my time in high school and middle school, and like, Connor, you seem like a smart guy. Every time we talk, like, you're a kid who, has his shit together, has a good head on you. Like, we may disagree on things, but you seem to be somebody who is intellectually at a good level. I fucked up in school because I just didn't pay attention, didn't do my homework, didn't do the basic things. It was just a lazy thing. I was doing other shit like, getting drunk and, trying to talk to girls that didn't really work out very well. The fucking schoolwork, get yourself through school, get good grades. It will create opportunities that, like, especially you're a football player, you do this, you do that, it'll create bigger opportunities. They noticed me talking a lot to her and connected the dots. Dude, XRS, they're jealous, man, because they don't have the balls to do what you're doing right now. They don't want the same thing that you're doing, but you're going after it. You're taking what they probably might think that's theirs. You're doing it. You're involved. Keep it up, man. Because you know what? At the end of the day, how many times am I going to say at the end of the day in this fucking stream? I keep repeating myself like a damn parrot right now, but you are the one making the move. You're the one going after it. They're all looking at you envious because you've probably done enough work now where you're in a much better position than them. But yeah, man, I seriously want some Chinese. Good for you, XRS. Listen, we've all been there. Does Nick's 6-game win streak move you at all? Not really, Kmart. I will say I do like the way the Knicks have looked in the last month. I'm a little bit happier with the direction. I think Karl Anthony Towns, something woke up in him around the trade deadline. He's been playing good basketball. I'm not like moved with the Knicks. I'm still in the same place where I think their ceiling is making it to the NBA Finals. I think their floor is losing in like the second round. I don't like their matchup at all if they get to the finals. I think they could beat the Pistons in a series. I think they could beat the Celtics in a series. I'm not uberly confident in the Knicks, though. I think so many different ways, so many different things can happen in this Eastern Conference. If Cade Cunningham's healthy, I don't think the Knicks can beat the Pistons in a 7-game series. But yeah, I'm not really moved with the Knicks at all. I wouldn't say that. Me and my friends are going to start a business with trade school stuff. That's great, Connor. That's amazing. Do it. Prime versus Prime. Stoudemire versus Blake Griffin is a good. That's a better question than you think. He is the gritty for a new like and subscribe. Hit the gritty for a new like. I'm not hitting the gritty. I wouldn't do that to you guys. I'm not gonna make you guys fucking watch that. Prime Stoudemire versus Prime Blake Griffin. You know what it is? Is like I think both guys had very, that's a really hard question in my opinion. Blake Griffin was known for being a high flyer and dunking and all these dunks. But Blake Griffin was a hell of a basketball player, especially when he went to Detroit. Those 2 years he was in Detroit, like the first 2 years he was in Detroit, were probably the best 2 years he had in his career. But prime Amari Stoudemire, I think Stoudemire might have been more of a product of the system he was in with Mike D'Antoni and Steve Nash. But Stoudemire was awesome, especially he was a Knick too. Amari Stoudemire was great, but I don't think I could pick. Pork chop. I think you just stumped me on that one. Genuinely, I think Blake Griffin and Amari Stoudemire were so similar in certain ways, but Blake Griffin I don't think gets enough credit for how good he was. I reported you for committing. No, come on, man. What the hell? Yeah, I've never had a drinking issue or the girl issue. Well, Connor, listen, man. I'm going to tell you two things. One, don't ever start drinking. Like, drink when you're older. You will at some point. It's a natural fucking phase of life. Girls, they're great. They only cause like fucking headaches, man. So the longer you wait. Let's see. If you were gay, who's your husband? If I was gay, who's my husband? I think if I answered that question, it would make me kind of gay, wouldn't it? Like, wouldn't that put me like a little bit on the gaydar if I was like, oh, that's easy. I think this guy's like that. Yeah, I don't think I can answer that. Look, bro, I dumped on Shaq back. Hold on. You dumped on him? 1993 when I was 13. It's not something I want to talk about. Just drop it. All right, I won't bring it up. But yeah, I saw some trying to say that Jamal Crawford was the best six man of all time, like above Ginobili. Yeah, I don't think Jamal Crawford was the best six man of all time. Manu Ginobili probably the most successful six man of all time. I don't know. That's a good question. I'd have to think of more six men. Hey, my boy, do you like kissing the girls? Do I like kissing the girls? Yeah, the ones that'll let me kiss them, sure, of course. I got 29 more days of school to lock in. Fuck yeah, Connor. You'll do it, man. I trust you. I trust in you. Dude, I know you from high school. Dude, do you know Mike the Party Kid? I don't know Mike the Party Kid. Mike the Party Kid is just like, that's a very, broad statement. I respect it. You're going after it. Bro, can I be honest? You look good in that hat. Bro, I really mean you look good. Jeb, I appreciate that, man. Most people come in here and say I look gay and stuff, so I appreciate a compliment for once. People think Malik Willis will carry the Dolphins to a Super Bowl. Who thinks the Dolphins? Who in their right mind thinks that Malik Willis is going to carry the Dolphins to a Super Bowl? Like, come on, dude. Can we talk about how Brooke Lopez went from a low post bully to a long range deadeye in the league almost 20 years? Yeah, pork chop. It's actually incredible that Brooke Lopez, he kind of defied the NBA a little bit, where he became like, he kind of, what's the word? Conformed to what the NBA is and what like these teams that he went to needed out of him. I think Brooke Lopez became that 3-point shooter because he had to when he went to Milwaukee. Like, him standing in the post was just going to clog the lane for a guy like Giannis, and he had to adapt, and he did very well. I think it says a lot about how talented Brooke Lopez truly was, because when he was in Brooklyn, he was one of the best centers in the league and didn't get dude, no, holy shit, haha, I recognize you, man. Didn't you have a party or some shit? How do I know you? I never had a party. I had one party, but there was like 7 people there, so definitely not me. What are your thoughts on Hakeem's career? I think Hakeem Olajuwon doesn't get enough credit. Hakeem is a top 3 center of all time. You don't look gay. You are. Hey, there you go, Mike. That's what it is. Yeah, man. I'm excited for some baseball tonight. We got baseball back. I got to go over to my buddy's house because I don't have Netflix anymore. I haven't had Netflix in a couple months because I don't watch TV. If I was ever gonna I have cable, but I need to like cut cable and just get YouTube TV. Yeah, a lot of people don't remember how good he was because of how shit his team was. He was on top with Cousins on the Kings. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Brooklyn's version of Brooke Lopez was unbelievable, man. He was a great player, but like I said, I think it just says a lot about how talented he is that he was able to conform to what they needed him in Milwaukee, which is not clogging the paint for a guy like Giannis. Christ, man, do you know Tim Lance or anyone from the West Side? No, I am not from the West Side. Mike, if you call him gay one more time, I'm going to punch you in the fucking... Jeb, he's good. We know you watch porn. How do you know I watch porn? Big Hat, brother, what's good? B1 Trucker, my guy, what's going on, man? I cracked my phone bad. I need to take it to the shop. That's always the worst, man. Like, I dropped my phone the other day, and I couldn't believe it didn't crack. It never makes sense when a phone cracks. You know what sucks is, like, I could, like, drop it right now, and drop it, like, 2 feet, and sometimes it'll crack. I dropped my phone out of my car onto the pavement, and it did not crack. I couldn't believe it. Hello, from Houston, Texas. Jeb, Houston, Texas. You know who else was a Jeb from Houston, Texas? Jeb Bush of the Bush family. I think they're from Houston. I don't know. That's bold. I'm not sure if they are from the Houston area. I just know the airport's named after their family. I'm just going on a fucking tangent here. I don't know what I'm talking about. But, right? What is that? Bush, right? Bush International Airport. Is that the Houston airport? So St. John's and Yukon still looking good. So I could still beef with you, even though you don't remember. No, B1, I remember. I didn't remember what we talked about. Now I'm glad you brought that up, B1, because I didn't remember what we were discussing. But now I remember we went on the St. John's Yukon thing. I will say, I'm rooting for another St. John's Yukon matchup for a couple of reasons. One, I think it's good for the Big East. I think like the Big East gets a lot of fucking flack nowadays
that like people are trying to call it like a mid-major conference. I think it'd be good for the Big East if St. John's and UConn saw each other again. Um, I'd probably, obviously, I'm looking at what St. John's has in front of them, which is Duke, which I don't think is an easy task by any means. I think people are underestimating the Johnnies big time there. St. John's going to win it all. Yeah, dude, sign me the fuck up. Dude, you are from the tri state. I feel like we played against each other in high school. Help me out here. From the tri state. What sport are we talking? I'm from the tri state. I am from the tri state area. That is a massive area. Dwight Howard or DeMarcus Cousins? Dwight Howard. Dude, one of my least favorite things is how Dwight Howard gets so like dissed because of the late part of his career. I think people remember Dwight Howard at the end. I think like Dwight Howard took such a fall from grace, but Orlando's version of Dwight Howard was one of the most dominant players in the league for so long. Like for a good like 5, 6 years there, Dwight Howard was clearly the best center in basketball and a top 5 player in the whole league. Who was favorite to win the World Series? I have no idea. You tell me. I do know. I'm just not giving Mike the satisfaction of saying it out loud. What do you think about the Spurs winning it all? Give it a rate from 1 to 10. I would say probably about a 7. I like the Spurs. If I had to pick somebody, I would say the Spurs win it all. I don't know a team that can beat a Victor Wembanyama led team 4 times in a series. I would be picking the San Antonio Spurs if it was up to me. I underestimated St. John's and you told me I don't know shit. Yeah, B1. Maybe I told you and me got into it, yeah, a little bit, but I think you know your shit. Listen, St. John's is playing very good basketball right now. I think that UConn game woke them up, and I think that happens with great teams. You have a team. Here's the Rockies winning the World Series. That's crazy. Dwight is underrated. Yes. The thing about that UConn game, like St. John's went up to UConn and got absolutely fucking throttled. Like that was the worst basketball game in my years of watching St. John's, and I've watched some pretty fucking miserable St. John's basketball teams. That was the worst game I've ever seen. But great teams like that, it happened with UConn when they got throttled by Creighton. Same thing. These great teams, something like that happens, and it's just throw away the tape. We show up, we come back. It was all love, bro. Of course, man, always. I remember when Dwight Howard was sued by a tranny. Well, Dwight Howard's been pretty open about that, right? Isn't he like into that? Like, hasn't Dwight Howard been decently open about that shit? I remember. I'll never forget. Dwight Howard also got sued by he invited a 16-year-old girl to his like room or something when he was on the road, but I think it's because like he paid for her to like show up, and then when she told him she was 16, he sent her home or some shit. I remember there's a whole big thing. But I remember the girl looked exactly like Colin Kaepernick. That was like the one thing. She was like, it was very weird. Does anyone remember how good Hassan Whiteside was for 3 seasons? Dude, Hassan Whiteside was unbelievable. He was defensive player of the year. I remember. Hassan Whiteside was unbelievable. He got $100 million contract. Insane. But of course, man. B1, of course, man. Basketball, dude. Yes. Clifton High School. You are way off. I did not play basketball at Clifton High School or play against anybody at Clifton. Would you rather bang Brittany Griner or get pegged by Sophie Cunningham? Dude, let me tell you something. If I am anywhere near Sophie Cunningham in any fucking capacity whatsoever, my life is good. Like, I think Sophie Cunningham is one of the most attractive women on the planet. Now, am I saying I want to get pegged by her? Like, probably not, but fuck, man. I gotta back myself into a corner here. Do I want to get pegged by Sophie Cunningham? Like, the idea of anything sexual happening with Sophie Cunningham would be sick. I'm not getting pegged. I'd probably bang Brittany Griner. I set that one up. I set myself up and backed myself into a corner there. Sophie Cunningham to me is one of the most attractive, if not the most attractive woman I like. Mostly, listen, I'm not saying just looks wise. Sophie Cunningham to me is like something with me. I have a thing with like for girls that play basketball. I don't know what it is. Like it's like I always found Caitlin Clark more attractive. Like I don't think she's attractive by any means. Like in a what's the word? In a sense, like in a traditional sense. But I think when she's out on the court, I'm like, Caitlin Clark's fucking burying threes. Like I'd bang Caitlin Clark in her full basketball uniform. I wouldn't do it if I met her in the club, if that makes sense. I'd probably bang Brittany Griner. Yeah, I'd probably have to. I'm sorry, I'm not getting pegged. Like I was trying to set that up. Like, yeah, Sophie Cunningham is like my white whale of like I would like if me and her were breathing the same air in the building, like my life would be fucking great. Am I getting pegged? No. I'm still banging Brittany Griner over getting pegged by anybody. Would you tap Angel Reese? I would. Me either, bro. Like I'm not. Nobody's fucking going anywhere near that hole. Is Brittany Griner a man? I don't know. I have no idea. Lakers are favored to land on Antetokounmpo. I have not seen that. Someone clip that B1. Yeah, no. Listen, somebody's gonna clip that. If there's ever a time, like if I'm ever gonna get clipped and somebody's gonna take that shit out of context, I know I'm just gonna see the quote. I'm banging Brittany Griner, and that's okay. I like I'll happily explain myself as to what happened there, and I would hope you guys would know me better than to think like, yeah, I'm just out here trying to bang Brittany Griner. I don't want to bang Brittany Griner. Nobody does, unless except her wife. I don't know. Like no disrespect, Brittany Griner, great basketball player, but I'm not trying to bang Brittany Griner. Would you tap Caitlyn Jenner? Of course not. I would not even. I would not give up Evan Mobley for Giannis. You wouldn't give up Evan what? Hold on. First of all, Kmart. I don't know what the hell I was reading there. I just had a brain fart. I'm talking so much about Brittany Griner. Like I'm just. Ugh. Um, I don't know if I'd trade Evan Mobley for Giannis. I feel like you're getting like the same kind of player, just a better version. Brittany Griner versus Fley celebrity boxing. I know who my money's on. Brittany Griner would fuck me up. Like I know for a fact Brittany Griner would kick my ass. I am not going to sit here and even to debate for a second that I might have a shot in the ring with Brittany Griner. She would beat my ass. Would you bang Sue Bird, but she's dressed like a bird during it and making bird noises? I mean, if is there another choice or like it's just yes or no? But it's probably not. I feel like that would really screw up my fucking mojo if I'm banging somebody and they're making bird noises. Not saying Sue Bird's unattractive. Like, I think she's like a moderately like okay looking human being. But no, I'm not banging Sue Bird if she's making bird noises. No. I know more about sports than anybody in here. All right, jack me off. 8917 is the sports expert in here. I like last couple times I've streamed, it's been a lot of sports talk, and I'm good with that, man. We can talk whatever you guys want. NBA said Bucks wanted either Mobley or VJ Edgecombe for Giannis. I mean, I think one is not like the other. As good as VJ Edgecombe is, I like Evan Mobley is very good. Like VJ Edgecombe could end up being a very good player though. When can we catch up, bro? We're right here, right now. Why the chat giving my bro hell? Dude, B1, they give me hell every fucking stream, dude. And I love it, honestly. I wouldn't have it any other way. I think if you can't handle the chaos of chat and all this stuff, like getting asked if you would bang Brittany Griner, like having to say, like, would you rather your white whale of fucking celebrities who you find so attractive peg you? You shouldn't stream. Would you bang Erica Kirk while she's wearing a Charlie Kirk costume? Wow. No, I don't think so. Dude, yes, we beat y'all's ass in high school. I don't know, like, listen, a lot of people beat basketball-wise at my high school. We got our ass beat a lot. Like, we did. So that's not the most illogical thing. Your teammate Anthony was a fucking G. I didn't have a teammate named Anthony. I didn't. There's only one sexy WNBA player, Haley Van Lith. I think there's a good amount. I think there's a bunch of very attractive WNBA players. Haley Van Lith, I think she's a little bit overrated. VJ just had the most points in a game this season with 0 free throw, 35 points. I'm not saying, listen, VJ Edgecombe's a great player. I'm not talking shit about VJ Edgecombe. I'm saying that's pretty. I feel like that's a little bit of a gap right now. I will take a dump in that hat. Damn, bro. Dave Bautista or Dwayne Johnson, who's the better actor? Ooh, that's a really good question. Honestly, I think Dave Bautista might be a better actor. I just think The Rock is the same guy in everything he's in. Like, and I'm not trying to like, shit on The Rock. I just think he's the same character over and over again. Like, think about it. Every single movie that has The Rock in it, he's legitimately the same guy. I don't even think he acts. I think he just shows up and he's The Rock. Like, that's just what it is. Dave Bautista has done some movies where, like, and he's got some range acting wise. Like, I think Dave Bautista is a little bit better an actor. Like, his movies aren't great by any means. If you ask me who has better movies, like, The Rock by a long, wide margin. But I think Dave Bautista's got a little more range, if that makes sense. I subscribed. You actually said my screen name. You earned it. I appreciate it. Jack me off. Thanks for subscribing, dude. Flay, would you rather use a pocket pussy that was used by Tom Brady moments ago or take Wemby's 34 inches. Oh man, I'm not taking anybody's any inches. So I'm probably using the pocket pussy. I appreciate you taking the time and coming up with a thoughtful response for my question about BG and Cunningham. Of course, listen, if you're gonna come here and watch my stream and you're gonna interact with me, I'll take the time to answer your question, no matter how fucked up it is. Batista and Jason's new movie was all right. Yeah, I don't think Dave Batista's movies are like that great. I mean, like I've never seen it and I've been like, oh, thank God, this new Dave Batista movie's coming out. Like, obviously, like I grew up on Batista, grew up on The Rock as wrestlers. Batista, like I don't know, I don't think his movies are great, but I think just acting chops wise, I think I've seen more out of Batista than I have The Rock. Like I said, I think The Rock just does the same thing over and over, and that's okay because he's The Rock. He can. I do both. For the Tom Brady Wemby question, you would say, Jesus Christ. But at the same time, and again, no offense to The Rock. Like, if The Rock can make a career off of doing that, he could just make a career out of being The Rock. Good for him. Did you see Peacemaker? I haven't seen Peacemaker. I didn't. That's the John Cena one, right? That's John Cena's movie. John Cena's movies are brutal, dude. Like, I could talk all day about Batista. I don't think I've seen John Cena do anything in the movie world where I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Peacemaker I never saw, but what was the movie with Amy Schumer? That movie sucked. That was terrible. And the only reason I went to go see it was because John Cena was in it. That was like, listen, I grew up at a time where I was a big wrestling fan, and John Cena to me is a god. Like, John Cena is like my, if John Cena, if I could meet one person, if I could have dinner with one person, it would probably be Sophie Cunningham. But then John Cena would probably be like second or third, right? Like, I'm telling you, John Cena was like my god. My maybe controversial, but I think The Rock's so overrated as a wrestler. He was only a good talker, dude. Pork chop. I'll go one further with that. Like, I think The Rock was very athletic in the ring. I think he was able to tell a good story. I'll go one further. I think he's overrated as a talker too. I think The Rock, I don't think he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I think he had megastar, potential because of his look, because he could talk well. Like, he could talk well. I'm not saying he couldn't. But I don't think he's one of the best talkers ever. Like, people say like best talkers and they say The Rock. Like, I think John Cena might be the greatest on the mic. Guys like John Cena, even CM Punk, and I'm not a big CM Punk fan. CM Punk's a great talker. Like, he is unbelievable. Like, I like guys who could stand there, talk on the mic, and like I'm sitting there listening to their every word. Like, The Rock, like, I just feel like he was more goofy, silly, able to twist people's words. Like, I think it was entertaining. I'm not saying that, but like in terms of straight talkers, like I was never like sitting like CM Punk, unbelievable talker. John Cena, Paul Heyman, guys like that. I think we're just better than him. I think Bret Hart's overrated as a wrestler, and he couldn't talk for. Yeah, I agree with you on Bret Hart. Fley, is it true that when you were in 8th grade, you were caught choking your goose while watching an episode of Thomas the Tank Engine? While I was in 8th grade? No, dude. Like, I wasn't watching Thomas the Tank Engine in 8th grade. Batista is gay. He had a Manny Pacquiao tattooed, which is gay itself. I mean, getting a tattoo of another guy is fucking crazy, dude. Hi, Flay. How are you? I'm good, SJ. I'm better now that you're here. The Departed, I think it was called. The Departed. What, the movie? San Francisco Giants. You got Giants game tonight. Good for you, SGA. You look like RuPaul with your head on backwards. I don't know why I put this on backwards today. I'm not really sure. Oh my God. What happened? I talk about The Rock. I heard some jabronis in here talking about how I'm overrated. A couple people did, actually. Edge was a good talker. Fucking legend. Edge almost had like 3 or 4 separate careers. Like, Edge reinvented himself so many times, and every time it was gold. Yeah, Edge was good on the mic. Edge was intense. Edge's intensity on the mic was phenomenal. But listen, I loved The Rock growing up. The Rock was my first favorite wrestler. And I'm just saying, like, people make these Mount Rushmores of like WWE wrestlers. I personally wouldn't put The Rock on it. I think The Rock's an all-time great, though. Sheamus is underrated. Sheamus big time underrated. Sheamus was a guy too that, like, how many times did Sheamus escape like the boring and like all that shit. Sheamus was a guy who seemed to like just constantly dig himself out of holes with great gimmicks and great stories. Great wrestler all time. Can't wait for the San Francisco Giants baseball. Hell yeah. I don't think Edge ever had a bad match. I don't think so either. I off the top of my head, I couldn't think of one. Macho Man Randy Savage was the best. Macho Man Randy Savage might have been. I don't love that we're talking wrestling here because I'm a big wrestling historian. Love this shit, man. Randy Orton, excuse me. Randy Savage was probably the most like I don't know if there was anybody that encapsulated the business of wrestling more than Randy Savage. Like he was the gimmick, he was the ultimate wrestler. Like in my opinion, when you like think the stereotypical wrestler of the 80s, it was Macho Man Randy Savage, and that guy loved his craft, appreciated it every day. Like I think Macho Man Randy Savage is the ultimate stereotypical like just down like wrestler. Don Morocco was the greatest on the mic all time. Look into it. I'll have to. I don't think I've ever heard Don Morocco talk. Um, Top five MLB baseball players of all time is a good question. Macho Man, best promo and energy guy of all time. I mean, we've all done our Macho Man. I can't do it. Hold on. Macho Man, like yeah, we've all done it. Everybody's done it. Even people that never watched a day of wrestling in their life know the Macho Man. Like they all do the voice. They all do snap into a Slim Jim. Like everybody's got their fucking Macho Man voice. Top five MLB players of all time. Bonds. That's like Shohei Ohtani. I'll say it. So nobody else. Everybody's gonna be afraid to. Bonds, Ohtani. Shit, I don't know. After that, like, it's hard. I still have to put Shawn Michaels top three, top five, maybe. Yeah, Shawn Michaels, unbelievable. Like charismatic, everything about him, his wrestling ability. Shawn Michaels is absolutely up there all time. I heard Randy Savage had a shoplifting addiction. That's a listen. That's an addiction, man. I know people that have that. Like, what is that called? There's a word for that. Being a kleptomaniac. That's crazy. Hulk Hogan saved WWE. He did. Hulk Hogan absolutely did. Okay, who's the worst on the mic? I got to go Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior might have been the worst on the mic ever because he just fucking rambled incoherently. That's not a bad person. Let me think. There were a lot of people who just weren't very good on the microphone, and like, like I think I'm trying to think of like big time wrestlers that weren't good on the mic and like really sucked at it. That like, and I'm trying to think of like superstars. Mount Rushmore, Kurt Angle, Macho, Hogan, Big Show. His WCW stuff was crazy. WWE wasted him. Who? Big Show? Undertaker, Ric Flair. That's fair. I'm trying to think of somebody who was just bored, who was just like genuinely bad on the microphone. Like, and I'm talking somebody who was like a main card, like big time wrestler. Like Umaga was pretty. I mean, yeah. Well, Umaga needed a mouthpiece because that was the whole gimmick. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. I just got a bloody nose because the sun dried my nose out. Jeff Hardy was not good on the mic. You're right. Like Jeff Hardy, like they would have him try to talk too much. I think the Jeff Hardy mic stuff was more so that like, I think Matt was much better on the mic. Like Jeff Hardy didn't need to talk, and they always tried to get him to talk. I don't know why. Big Show, yeah, he kicked. Oh, well, yeah, Big Show was a freak athlete at WCW. I think you're right. I think the WWE did not do a good job of like showing off how incredibly athletic the Big Show was at his size. But I also think there's a point to it where like he didn't have to be that athletic. Andre the Giant. Your boy Barry Bonds is on Netflix. He's the MLB commentator. That's pretty sick. I love Barry Bonds. Kevin Nash was a terrible wrestler and talker. Yeah, Kevin Nash was not a very good talker. Kevin Nash might be one of the most overrated of all time. Sid Vicious. Sid Vicious was terrible. That's the guy who was really bad on the mic. And like that's just because like he would talk his own fucking he would mush his own mouth. But Kevin Nash is a good one. I never really understood the appeal of Kevin Nash. Barry Bonds lost 20 pounds of muscle. I wonder why. I wonder what happened there. I hate when I get a bloody nose. Yeah, that sucks. I've gotten a bloody nose one time. That's because I got fucking hit in the face with a baseball. Dude, I'll tell you my bloody nose story real quick. I get hit in the nose with a baseball. That's pretty much the story. I was playing on a Little League field. When like they first started introducing clay to like Little League fields? Like clay, when the ball hits like the clay, it fucking hops. And I'm playing first base. Fucking guy throws the ball in the dirt. It hops up, popped me right in the nose. I did not think the ball was going to bounce that high. Nose was fucking bleeding for like the rest of the day. It was a tournament. And like I could not get that fucking shit to stop. Remember Vader's promo? I'm a fat piece of shit. Good night. I don't remember that. I have found my spirit animal. This guy, Josh K. My guy. We're fucking lit up right now. George the Animal Steel was bad. He was just bad in general. Like nothing about him was good. I'm trying to think of somebody who like legitimately their promos would have put me to sleep. Like, was it bleeding profusely? It was. It was bleeding so bad, and like I tried stuffing it all day, and every time I took the shit out, my nose was definitely broken. I think it's still kind of fucked up looking from that. I got hit right here. You have to look it up. It's hilarious. I'm gonna have to check that out, Pork Chop. I'm sure, dude. Like, there's so many things. Like wrestling is it's such an interesting business to me, and it's such like it's an art form. It's something I grew up on. I don't watch wrestling much anymore. I will tell you, there's one person right now that has me checking the Instagram of WWE every week because I'm like, this guy is money. You know who that is? Danhausen. I could watch Danhausen do fucking anything. That guy is hysterical, and I never knew anything he did before WWE. He popped up on my feed one day. I'm like, this guy's hilarious. John Smithy, what's up, man? How the fuck are we? Am I back, dude? The most annoying shit. I tell everybody that as anybody that could get in touch with me, hey, don't call me while I'm streaming. Whatever you do, don't call me while I'm streaming. Everybody fucking calls me while I'm streaming. You guys hear me? We're all good here. I think you know what jacked me off, and I just love that that's your name. That's hilarious. Scott Steiner, I think, was really good on the mic, but for all the wrong reasons. Scott Steiner was so fucking entertaining on the microphone, but like not because he said anything coherent. Like, like if you were like to say like, "Hey, great public speaker," it wasn't fucking Scott Steiner. But Scott Steiner would go on these crazy, crazy, crazy tangents that were so fucking funny. It'll be really funny if they made a comedy movie about some idiot playing baseball and he got smacked in the nose. Hey, listen, it would just be the story of my life. Are you into cuckoldry, Fley? No. Stephanie Vacker's promos are bad. I've never heard her speak. I'll have to check that out. I think anytime she pops up on my Instagram, I'm like, this girl's fucking good looking. Scott Lockett, drop it. I haven't watched wrestling in a long time, but TNA's 2005 to 2016 was great wrestling and storylines. Pork Chop, I don't know if I've told you this while you were here, but I went to TNA in 2006. Me and my dad went to a show when we were down in Orlando, and there's a video. I've showed it on stream. I'm not gonna pull it up now. I'll show it another time, where me and my dad are on TV because we're in the front row, and it was it was Team 3D, whatever, the Dudleys, and they were facing Team Canada, and I remember Devon Dudley threw, I think it was Bobby Roode into the barricade right in front of us, and me and my dad are on TV. It was a great show. TNA was awesome. I was such a big fucking TNA wrestling guy. Was Rhino there? Yes, Rhino was there at the time. Rhino was there. It was the night Spike Dudley debuted. It's a shame WWE will probably go under in 20 years due to the TKO shitty business dealings. I'm with you. TKO is really fucked up. Like it's just like nothing's genuine with TKO. Like you're not getting the best storylines. You're getting whatever's gonna fucking make the most money. Like I gotta say, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way about it. I hate Cody Rhodes. Like, and I don't even think it's his fault. I think Cody Rhodes is great. I think he's a great in-ring worker, but like that whole thing, his whole shtick has gotten so stale. This whole like fucking Homelander, Captain America bullshit. Holy hell, save me the fucking trouble. Cody Rhodes should have turned heel like a year ago. And they're never going to do it because he sells all the merchandise. He's basically, they want him to be the next John Cena. And he's not like, and I'm not saying because it's his fault. I just think the character's so stale. And TKO is never going to change it. Rhino was really cool, and ECW was a great. And oh, dude, I was a little bit. ECW was a little after my time. I mean, before my time, excuse me. But looking back on the old ECW shit, it's phenomenal. Eddie Guerrero was the best on the mic, and Ric Flair, of course. Eddie Guerrero was fantastic on the mic. I didn't watch much TNA. Trying to think who all they had. TNA had some good talent, dude. Like AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe. The Kazarian, the X Division, all those guys. It was a great time. Dusty Rhodes promos were awesome. Dusty Rhodes was a little bit ahead of his time, I think. Like we've gone all over the place in this stream. You guys know how to fucking get me talking. I love this. But yeah, I'm trying to think who else was in the company at the time. You know, like you had Jay Lethal. Dude, Jay Lethal is one of the most. He at the time was one of the most talented guys on the planet. Sting was there, yes. Big Dick Dudley could have been big in the wrestling industry. He was really good in ECW. It's a shame he OD'd. Yeah, you know, there were a bunch of guys in ECW that like I think they were just like, you know, ECW was so in your face and up like to me, ECW had the best writing. Like Paul Heyman did such a good job with ECW and was able to get guys over like for the stupidest reasons. Like, but I think that was the most pure form of wrestling. You guys see me beat Hogan at WrestleMania, of course. What would Epstein's wrestler name be? Ooh, I don't know. It's a good question. Shout out to Dill Waldos. Oh yeah, Samoa Joe is dope. I loved Samoa Joe. I still do. One of the biggest WWE fuck ups was having Sting lose to Triple H, dude. Holy hell! I mean, pork chop. I think there's like 4 or 5 times where WWE had something happen, and I could think off the top of my head at least 3 of them were Triple H involved. Triple H beating Sting is probably like one of the top 2 dumbest decisions I think they ever made. I think I think Triple H pinning Goldberg in the Elimination Chamber was ridiculous, but I don't even think that was as bad as Booker T. I think Booker T losing to Triple H at WrestleMania, what was that, night 18, was one of the dumbest decisions ever. Booker T had so much fucking like momentum and backing, and like he was cool. Like Booker T was the man at that time. They should have put the damn belt on him. Undertaker should have retired undefeated at WrestleMania. I agree. I also think if The Undertaker was going to lose to someone, I don't think Brock Lesnar was the guy. I don't think Brock Lesnar needed that. You know, I think they could have put somebody over but still, I think it didn't matter. I think he should have been undefeated. I really like Sabu from ECW. He didn't give a fuck, dude. Sabu didn't give a fuck about anything. Sabu was just a fucking train wreck. Hey, bro, just got to say, you do a good job of addressing everybody while still keeping things moving. It's an art, and you got it. I appreciate that. Jack me off. I'm trying here, man. I'm trying to turn this into a fucking big thing, man. And I love it. I love fucking talking to you guys. Hit him with the pedigree and covered him 20 seconds later. Dude, hit him with the pedigree. This is crazy that we're doing Wrestle Talk tonight because this isn't just like a wrestling. This is by no means a wrestling channel. But I love wrestling, so I always talk wherever the conversation goes. He hit the pedigree, and I think it was like literally 27 seconds. Pinned Booker T. Like, Booker T should have won that match. Didn't Triple H pin Ric Flair at one point? I think he did. Love your hat, bro. Thanks, Accurus. Where can I get one? It's a Noggin Boss hat. Booker T was so athletic for a big guy like 6'6". Dude, Booker T was one of those guys, like, I can watch any Booker T match. I can watch Booker T wrestle anybody. I got into like a wormhole of old Booker T, like WCW, like a little bit like during Harlem Heat, like that time frame. Booker T was so unbelievably good in the ring, and right away, the second he stepped foot with his brother in Harlem Heat, I'm sure like any Booker could tell, like no pun intended, anybody who was watching could tell that he was going to be a superstar, that he had it. He had that it factor to him, the look, the size, the movement in the ring. Like Booker T to me, I think he was such a good, I think he's very underrated and could have been a lot better. Brock Lesnar got a dick tattoo on his chest. I saw Brock Lesnar was on Spittin' Chicklets, and I've seen all the clips. Yeah, he got a sword. He was telling that story. That was great. That he was like hammered drunk and didn't even realize he got the tattoo. That's really the best time to get a tattoo is when you're fucking hammered. Shout out to Pocahontas. I only like professional wrestling. If y'all are talking about WWE, I went state in Georgia, West Atlanta. We out here repping and slamming. I only like if y'all talking about WWE. Oh, I see. Yeah, we got into a wrestling discussion here. Again, I'm not. This is by no means a wrestling channel. You know, we talk about everything here. I love wrestling, man. I love professional wrestling. I am a big fan of the industry. Big fan of the product as a whole. The history of it. I love it, man. Like truly, I grew up on that shit. And I still think today, like, I don't watch WWE much anymore because I'm not the biggest fan of it. But hey, is Jack Me Off your new best friend? Listen, every day, man. Shout out to Pocahontas. Dominique Wilkins or Julius Irving is a good question. You know, I don't like with Dominique Wilkins. I feel like he doesn't get talked about enough. But like they're the same type of like they defied gravity. Those two. I think Julius Irving is more of a legend in my opinion, especially in these parts around New York. Like obviously the Nets and I don't know, man. I think I'd probably go Dr. J, but that's also because of my lack of knowledge. That I will admit that I lack a little bit of knowledge on Dominique Wilkins, other than like knowing he was an Atlanta Hawk. Me too. Making 600 people go silent after a slam with all eyes on you is the best feeling in the world. Yeah, I wish. I don't wish. Talking about this with my dad before. I think I've told this story on stream. When I went to school, I went to Plattsburgh State, New York, all the way upstate New York, way, 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 all the way up, like right by fucking Montreal, Canada, right? Cold as fuck there. Nothing has nothing to do with the story. I had a buddy, right? He was in one of my classes, and he was a professional wrestler. Like he wrestled on the side. He worked for this company that did like upstate New York shows, right? And they had a house show in like one of the field houses up in Plattsburgh. So I went to his show, and after the show, he let me come in the ring, dude. He goes, you want to get slammed on the ring? And I'm like, yeah, well, this is a once in a lifetime chance. I'm never gonna get another shot in a wrestling ring, dude. That shit fucking sucks ass. Like I had a newfound respect for these people that take bumps, that do all this shit in the ring. He slammed me, like he did a scoop slam to me, and didn't really drop me that hard. And it might be because I'm a bit of a fucking like softy and I'm a bit of a loser, but he dropped me on the ring, and I was like, oh my god. So I don't know how these fucking people do that shit, man. Truly, I don't. Don't get jelly. Remember when The Rock brought out Mini Booker T? Dude, I'm convinced Vince McMahon has like a fetish for fucking little people, because the amount of times he would use them and the amount he would do it, which it was always funny. Don't get me wrong, it was a great thing, but I think Vince McMahon definitely has a little thing for it. Wrestling is choreographed, not fake. It's brutal. Like, yeah, jack me off. I never said. I just love that. I'm just openly just going jack me off. Yeah, no. Nobody ever like anybody who knows the business knows it's just like it's choreographed. It's scripted. It sucks, man. I knew it wasn't easy, but that one time I got slammed, man. I was like, holy hell, I don't want to ever do that again. You know who would be there? Be three times the player he was in his era? Wait. You know who would be three times the player he was in his era? Reggie Miller and Chris Mullin. Like in this era today? I agree with you on Chris Mullin. I think, yeah, Reggie Miller probably too. I think, yeah, I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't disagree with that. ESPN, what? Dropping baseball is sad. I don't know. I don't think ESPN did a great job with the coverage over the last couple of years, but I don't know. I know, just saying. Yeah, of course, dude. Like, wrestling is a fucking great business. It's entertaining. It's fun as hell. Like, I am full blown, like, to the moon when it comes to wrestling. I think wrestling is great. I'm a fan. You know me. Like, I don't know why I said you know me. I don't know what the hell I'm even saying right now. I'm kind of just rambling incoherently. I do have to get off stream in about probably the next 10, 15 minutes. I might give you guys another stream later tonight. I'll probably come back. I have to go. I'm going to go watch the Yankees and Giants at my buddy's house because I don't have Netflix anymore. I only had one wrestler ever represent my hometown from Louisville, Kentucky, Eugene. Dude, I've talked about this on stream too. This is another one. I think Eugene was one of the most. I think they fucked that up so bad. And that's sick that he's from your hometown. I think the Eugene gimmick could have been 10 out of 10. Perfect fucking, gimmick. Because, like, I think Eugene should have won all of his matches. The idea of a wrestling savant that watches fucking TV, that watched wrestling his whole life, and learned how to wrestle by just watching TV is a brilliant fucking gimmick. Brilliant. You can't turn him heel. That was the stupidest thing. Brilliant. I think it was like such a 10 out of 10 perfect gimmick. He should have went on and won the Intercontinental title. He should have never lost the fucking match. You take the belt off of him by him losing in a triple threat, and you ride him off into the sunset. I don't understand how they botched that so bad, because it was such an intriguing gimmick. It was an awesome gimmick, and it made perfect sense. A guy who is a savant watching wrestling and picking up the moves, unfucking believable. And it pisses me off to this day that they botched Eugene as bad as they did. go watch my Dodgers kick some ass tomorrow. I'll be at City Field tomorrow watching the Mets start their World Championship. What do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Campaign. Eugene was very over. Dude, I went to Monday Night Raw at the Nassau Coliseum that year. Eugene probably got the loudest pop of anybody. Duggan and Eugene should have been tag champs. Yeah, they could have been. I mean, Eugene, was he tag champs with William Regal for a little bit? I was there. I told Vince, don't turn Eugene heel. He didn't listen to me. To the great one. Nice. Why does Jackie Chan only play a Chinese guy in movies? I think that's a pretty self-explanatory one. Let me think. No, with Eugene though, dude. It was such a good gimmick. That should have been. Eugene was a good character. It was amazing character. Like the whole idea of it was so good, dude. Thinking back on it, you really could not have had Eugene win the WWE championship. I think there was a ceiling to Eugene, but you could have had him win the Intercontinental title. Just go on a run, build him up. I think they did it well. Where he was learning with William Regal, that whole thing. But it could have gone much farther, much farther. And I think they just fucked it up. I liked Bo Dallas and his positive guy character. He was great on NXT and wasted in 2 months on Raw. Yeah, I thought that was a good gimmick too. But I think what they screwed up with that one, with Bo Dallas, I remember that gimmick. I think they should have found a way to put him with somebody who just was the opposite. I don't think that was a gimmick that could have got over as the Bo Leave. I don't think that's something that could have got over on the main roster with as a singles guy. I think if he was in a tag team with somebody who was the complete opposite, who hated everything, I think that would have been electric. But we'll see. I don't know. Let's see. I got about another. My buddy lives about 10 minutes away, so not urgent for me to get out of here yet. But I liked Bo Dallas. I liked what he had going for him. I like that we got, like I said, I love that we got into a wrestling conversation tonight. I have a video coming up in the next coming days, so I wanted to talk about this while I was on stream. I'm trying to not necessarily rebrand the channel by any means, but really get back to the nitty gritty of the channel and not all the dumb fucking I'm trying to take this shit off. I'm trying to take off the live streams and all this shit. And obviously in the meantime, I have a ton of stories. I've had a ton of things that have happened to me. And I go places I'm going to be at City Field tomorrow. I'm probably going to film a vlog for opening day at City Field. I'm excited for that. It's great. Just the stupid things. But I'm going to get back to making videos and shit. Can we get some likes on the stream? Appreciate that, Kmart. I'm going to get back to doing stupid things and going places and filming it and creating a little more content, because I feel like I kind of I made my second channel with Fley bets and whatever, but I'm gonna hold off on that for a little bit, just because I need to get one channel fucking up and moving first. You look like a Tron guy. I don't even know what that means. What the hell is a Tron guy? So I'm gonna start going places. If I could find a way. I had the stupid idea of trying to gamble my way to go to fucking DC for the St. John's game, stuff like that, dumb shit. The stupid things that I like to do. Just kind of get into it and do a better job of, creating the content and figuring it out. So just, I kind of, not necessarily a rebrand, but I have a video coming out Friday. I did the dumbest shit. So I went to go see a Creighton basketball game a couple months ago. What was that, 2 months ago? And I never really told the story. It was a terrible video that I made on my other channel. And I really think there was so much more to it, where I went to fucking Omaha for this trip because I was going to film a vlog, do all this stuff, go to a basketball game and make a video out of it, right? And it went so fucking poorly, and I never really told the whole story. So I got a video coming out where it's kind of like a documentary style video with the clips of things going on and me just telling the background. That's kind of what I got going on, and I'm going to try to figure out as the time goes on. But, these live streams are what I live for. Sitting here and talking to you guys is my favorite thing to do. So I appreciate everybody that stops by. But guys, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna head to my buddy's house. Probably around, I don't know, 11:30 tonight. You'll probably get another stream.